that's the 7th phase already for McAllen, Larry. I think that's more phases in this match than the whole last match combined at any point in time.
I think you're right there. You know, I have to commend the McAllen Maidens for coming down here. They're actually short-numbered, and they drove up all the way from McAllen, Texas this morning. So they just got here, and they're just playing away. They're playing away. Not gone. And let's see, look like...
It'll be a scrum down for the Reds. I believe they thought it was a penalty, so she quick tapped and went with it.
She did. Hey, I don't blame her for that. You know, you got to try what you can get away with, right?
Yeah, and sometimes the referee thinks you're right, and they might let you get away with it.
Well, absolutely. I think you and I understand this pretty well going through this. All right, well, here we go. So it's our first scrum of the day. We have Cheryl Neely from the Reds. She's going to be putting the ball in. Hooker is Lori Mayfield for the Reds.
Looks like the Reds have a very deep back line, and it looks like they might have some pace on the outside. They have some very nimble-looking people out there outside the wing.
You know, taking a look at this roster for the Maidens, they're here only with 10, according to the roster. But, boy, it sure does look like there's more than 10 out there, especially with the way the Maidens are playing.
Yeah, for this level of rugby, you're allowed 4 players that are sipped and on a roster somewhere in the union to play at this championship level, and they did get some help from a great run right there from Sheena Malays. Can she dot it down?
And she does. Sheena Malays scores the first try right here for the Reds.
She's the speedster on the wing they were talking about, and when she got the ball, she put her pedal to the metal and took it to the try zone.
She really did. She really did. And she had her eyes forward, looking at where she was going to score, and there was nothing going to stop her at that point. All right, well, there you go. We have our first try for the game. Let's see, 5 for the Reds. We're going to take a look and see if they can get this conversion. And it was missed. So right now, after the first try, it's 5-0 in favor of the Reds. Well, Drew, you've done that before, haven't you? Driven hundreds of miles on the same day of a game,
yeah, I have. Been in Shreveport, there's times we went down to San Antonio when we used to play Division I. We'd actually drive down in the morning, play the game, turn around, and drive right back. And that was a lot of driving in one day for a game that would sometimes be a loss. It's brutal on the way home. We'd always say before the match, it's easier to drive home a winner than it is a loser.
Absolutely.
But
that's what we do here in club rugby. It's just a part of it. We love it. So here we go. Maidens are going to kick off to the Reds.
Yeah, I think McAllen to Dallas is a good 6-hour trip, isn't it, Larry?
You know, I've never driven that. It might be. I thought it was a little longer. Well, it looks like the Maidens have a full side here now, full 15. So here we go. Good kick, good pick up and run by the Reds.
Run.
Wow, look at this. She's just bulldozing right through.
The ruckus formed. They got space out wide again if they could get it out to Malays. She's sitting out there all by herself. There's nobody against her.
What an overload they have over there to the left. You're absolutely right. Look at that. 4 ladies out there beyond McAllen. That's amazing. Okay, so we're going to reform the scrum.
This is McAllen's first put-in. We'll see what they could do with their pack at this point in time. Looks like they have a split back set.
That's Maria Roque at number 9, and then we have Magdalena Rodriguez hooking the ball, number 2, for McAllen. Okay, you know, the safety that's being set now by the referees in the scrums, what's your thoughts on this? I think it's a great deal because I can remember we used to just come together on our own 20, 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah, and you know, you used to time your hits and you used to try and smash each other. Nowadays, prop forwards could actually play a whole game and be able to walk the next day without as much pounding on their body because you're actually coming together softly and then the push comes on after the ball's in.
And the ball's out. McAllen's on the run.
Great sidestep.
She has good support too. Oh, she came back nicely to get the ball. It looks like it was almost in the Reds' hands. It is. Wait a second.
It's going to be a knock forward here, unfortunate by the Reds. They had a nice poach, and then when she went to set the ball, she knocked it forward.
And she was there, first one in. She could poach the ball like that. Unfortunately, she knocked it on. So here we go, our second scrum for McAllen.
But getting back to the scrums nowadays, they make it more an offensive game. So, you know, a hooker is a true hooker now. It's not just pushing over when you hit. It's actually a hook of the ball, and the ball goes back, and then it's more offensive because the prop forwards can be smaller, more nimble, and as long as they're tight, you can win the ball and be all over the field as a loose forward almost.
And, you know, we saw that yesterday where in the men's matches, we saw Alliance versus Hurt, where Alliance was winning the scrums even though they were much smaller.
Yeah, they were. I just saw this last scrum down in the 21 from McAllen to me. I don't know how often she plays loose forward, but she's putting her shoulder literally on the knee of the prop, which is, to me, somewhat dangerous.
Yeah, let's take it
happen again.
Let's take a look at this, and we'll see how the refs catch it and so forth. Okay, here we go. Let's check it out. The ball's in.
It's a good
Straight
hook,
out.
and ball's out.
Not too bad, though. Little loose ball play right there. Oh, hey, she's another break maybe. Number 12.
Haley Fallenbaum.
And she scored.
It's a great try there. She just took the ball on her own, ran through, and then offloaded at the last second to, I believe it might have been the winger again, but when she turns around, we will get the number.
Well, I have to tell you, that was just great teamwork. I mean, they saw the opportunity, they grabbed it, they picked it up, they ran, they took it. Support play was outstanding by the Reds.
Kick is up, and it's a little bit wide, pushed by the breeze.
All right, well, once again, we're coming to you from the University of Dallas rugby pitch. And we're getting ready to restart right now. The Dallas Reds are ahead 10-0. You know, so far it's a beautiful day out here. Starting to warm up a bit, though, but we're here on the grass as opposed to the AstroTurf that we were on before.
Yeah, and the field is about 10 meters wider, if you haven't noticed. It's hard to tell from this angle, but this field is a true rugby field, whereas yesterday they were on a football field, which is a little more narrow. And the road weary might be starting to kick in for McAllen, it seems like. The sun's beating down and you're in a vehicle all day.
Well, I tell you what, I have to commend McAllen regardless for taking the trip, coming down here, battling on. That's not a knock on. The ball went backwards.
It's a good strong run from the 8-man of the Reds, Jenna Burford.
McAllen's really trying to push in there on the defensive side of the ruck. We have a whistle. Hands in the ruck. Penalty, Reds. Well, apparently, as you saw there, McAllen being really aggressive, got their hands in the ruck. That happens. You know, we try to coach against it. As players, we try not to do that, but sometimes when the ball's just right there.
It's a big kick there from the Reds. Will it get out of bounds? Yes, it does.
That's good field positioning for the Reds. They're down there. They're about 25 meters away from the goal line.
We'll see what. Is this the first lineout we've had so far for the Reds?
This is the first lineout. Yes, it is.
Looks like they're going to go short. I'm sure they'll use their big pack players for crash runners or just support the centers.
I was going to ask, what do you think they're going to do here? You think they're going to maul it up, or you think they're going to get it out there, spin it out to the backs?
I think they'll go to their crash runners, the big pack forwards that they have in the back line. Just run it straight up.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Too bad. Okay, let's see. Is it not thrown straight? Offside. And so we have McAllen was offside in the lineout. Penalty once again to the Reds. Boy, that's fortunate for them.
It really is, because that ball was on the deck, and McAllen looks like they were going to try and at least scoop it up, and they will kick again for another lineout, and that's a beautiful kick.
Man, that is a beautiful kick.
It gets him down within the 10-meter line, and it's a good attacking platform to have. This might be one of those ones where they put a drive in maybe for a maul.
Yep. Well, let's see. All right, and here we go in the line out.
Rory Mayfield strong.
Put his hand up for the try. But hold on, he's consulting with the AR, Ozzy. We're going to wait and see what the result is here. No, we're going back for a 5-meter scrum.
I guess maybe she knocked it on as she was going to touch it down.
Let's see what's going on here. Who's to put in? Okay. The Maidens are going to put the ball in, so
yeah, the question is, will they get the kick on to clear space, or will they just try and run it out?
It's going to be interesting, especially because of the athleticism that's with the Reds, and also they're not as tired. They've been here. They were able to sleep here. But McAllen's moving it on, and look at that. They got the ball out.
Good kick. Release pressure, net bounce, just like yesterday with the turf. But there she is, number 11 again, Sheena Malays with a great break.
Wow, look at that. And she had 2 on the outside in case she was worried about anything. The support play for her was fantastic. Malay scores the next try, the 3rd try. In fact, that's her 3rd try today. Or is that her 2nd try?
I believe it's her 2nd. I don't think she had the 2nd one there.
You're right, okay. And the conversion is good. Okay, so that's Malay's 2nd try.
But she does have some pace. Her coaches were saying she is a burner, and there's no doubt you can't teach speed, Larry. You could help it, but you can't teach it. She
Absolutely.
Has it.
She does. And she also has the ability to read the field very well. And that's something else that's also, we try to teach it, but it's a natural thing.
That's awfully nice when you have options, too. She could have passed it out to the 2 girls on the outside also.
Wasn't that something?
Inside.
That was really something to see. All right, so now the Dallas Reds are ahead 17-0. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here on the Texas Rugby Union's YouTube channel. And we're getting ready for the 3rd kickoff to the Dallas Reds.
McAllen getting set to give a boot here.
You know, you have to think about that long drive up today. The sun's starting to come out. It's beaten down. Yeah, it's. I wonder how the game would be if McAllen was able to get in earlier. They could have come in last night, maybe a different team, but we don't know. We can only assume. So here we go. Kickoff ready to go. Nice kick.
To open space, nobody fields it.
Absolutely.
But it looks like they might be trying to get the ball to their speedster again.
Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, great support play. Number 7 there. Up, forward pass. Yeah, that was good work.
So it's scrum down McAllen. I do believe this might be the first time they've been in the half of the Dallas Reds all day long.
You know, you're right. And this is really advantageous for them because they're scrumming down here in their area. So let's see what happens.
Their scrums have been going well for them. They have not been getting pushed off the mark. Let's hope they can get some pace and move forward. Get a little life back into their game.
Taking a look at the setup. Look at that. McAllen's looking really nice in the setup. And the ball's out. Fly half is still running on. She's running on strongly. Holding on to the ball. It's still in the ruck. Moving the ball out nicely. Very nicely passing the ball out. Almost messed up by the Reds, number 13. Haley Fallenbaum. Oh, yeah. And she's brought to touch. That's a fortunate thing there for the Maidens. The Reds were on a move after that wonderful interception or takeover. Okay, so now we're going to have a line out. It's going to be the Maidens throw-in.
See what the Maidens do for an attacking platform. You know, you would think they might go to their centers. They do have some large centers that if they get them the ball, they might be able to crash through the smaller Reds defense.
And the Maidens have it. Hold on. Penalty. Pulling down.
Playing the jumper in the air is the call. Pulling
That's
the player
it.
down.
So it's a penalty to the Maidens. So let's see what they do here. You know, they had a wonderful opportunity. They were passing the ball well when the Maidens were scrumming in their side of the field. Unfortunately, they didn't get the penalty kick to touch.
But they did get it down the field a good way. You never know which way the ball could bounce on here. If the Reds lose the ball, they could have
Good point. Oh,
great step.
almost a great stop. Nice kick downfield. So now it's turning.
You talk about
Back to
changing
the Reds.
Talk about changing the penalty. If somebody else touched that ball, it's going to be a penalty for the Reds. But it was touched first by McAllen. So
It sure was. Yeah, they were offside. And so that's what we have. We have the penalty, Reds. You know, that's so hard to avoid doing, though, when you're up front and the ball's kicked. And in that situation, it was kicked to him, almost right into him. But still, it's a penalty.
Yeah, I think if she didn't touch it, it would have been a scrum down to McAllen, because I believe there's a knock, but because she played it from an offside position.
Absolutely. All right, so here we go. And they're going to tap and run. Trying to bang it up there with their number 5. They're getting the ball out. No. Number 12 is going to run it right
Haley
up.
Fallenbaum again. That's twice now she's busted through the center. Last time she offloaded at the last second.
Right under the post. Man.
She is a hard runner. She takes it at pace, and she's straight line to the try zone.
She sure does. She sure has been doing that today. Well, all right, so we're going to see how this goes with the conversion attempt. Right now, 22 for the Reds, 0 for McAllen.
And once again, she drops it immediately, doesn't wait on a tee at all. She knows she can get the ball through the post, and she just takes it, no hesitation.
Why wait when you could do a drop kick, right? You know, I mean, you got it. All right, so now it's in favor of the Dallas Reds, 24-0. You know, I have to commend the Reds here. The ability to move the ball out and then to have some great runners from the centers. You know, your wings are very capable. What I really commend them on is their support play. And the thing is that they could either run it straight or get it out. And that just throws defenses off.
Yeah, when you have the ability to attack the inside channels and the outside channels, there's really no weakness. So long as they could get the ball into hands,
right?
It's going to be a long day for McAllen if they keep moving the ball the way they have so far. Here we go with McAllen getting ready to kick off again. Last time they kicked it, it worked well for them. They did get the ball back and had a penalty.
All right, getting everybody in line here. And she kicks it.
Kick forward by the Reds, received.
Good tackle.
Good hands by Holly Garza to retain that possession. Now can they get it out to their speedster?
Oh, look at that. There it is. 12 getting it back. Oh, different play. Number 7.
Destiny Jamison on the crash line.
Oh, look at that. They're setting her up. Oh, how about that? Beauty of a pass. But she goes to touch. Wow. You know those inside passes that you see, the underhand inside passes, kind of made famous from all the players down under. And now we see people here in Texas doing this.
Yeah, and I thought once it hit Sheena Malaza's hand, she was going to be gone, but that was a beautiful coverage tackle by McAllen's winger.
Yep.
Because the last 2 times she touched the ball in space, she was to the try zone.
Well, you know, I have to commend McAllen on that one because the winger was not going to let her get through. But you knew that Sheena Malay was ready to go, but that wonderful pass again from Madeline Morris to Malay, I thought for certain that was going to be a try.
I think it's not going to be straight there. What do you think the Reds will do, line out or scrum?
Now this is going to be interesting. I think they're going to go for a line out. Yes, they are.
They have their number 5 throwing the ball in.
That's Lizanne Cizo Gonzalez throwing the ball. Different, but there's nothing against doing that.
Nope. You always use your best thrower, no matter what position they're at.
Oh, look at that. Throwing it back to her. Oh, that's an interesting play.
And they retain possession. They ruck well there. They're getting their attacking platform. They got a bunch of crash runners. They go to their number 7,
very well.
Jamison again.
Jamison is a powerhouse. All right, getting the ball out.
Lisa Anderson with the crash run there. She's close to the line, too.
Hey, there you go. Lisa Anderson making that try. Well, that's 29 now for the Dallas Reds. What a good setup. I mean, you know, they're playing well together. They're very united in how they carry it out. They're supporting one another. They know, it's almost as if they know who's going to be where and how, and it almost looks like it's all set up by the way they play.
You know, off that line out, I think what they did is they brought some looping runners around.
Right.
And McAllen kind of bid on the people going around the edge, and Lisa Anderson just went straight through the void that they just cleared out. So,
absolutely. Beautiful run.
Because they had the support players calling for the ball, and at pace, it cleared out a gap for Miss Anderson just to slip through.
Well, here we are. The conversion attempt was missed. It's now 29-0 in favor of the Reds.
So we've got to be getting close to halftime, I would think, right here, within about 5 minutes. So hopefully McAllen could get something going, get in the half, and get some points on the board.
You know, I think that will be a large mental change for McAllen if they could just get on the board and see the ladies actually picking up and just feeling like they're ready to get back at it. So here we go. McAllen kicking back off once again to the Reds. Well, let me ask you, Drew, if you're McAllen's coach, what's your advice to them at this point?
I would try and tell them if we could retain possession, because the one problem they have is the Dallas Reds have the ball. They're not losing it, and they're hitting on all cylinders coming forward. So defensively, try and spread, make one-on-one tackles. But now that they have the ball in hand, I might try and keep the ball in hand. This looks like a girl that might have a little bit of speed. Maybe she should just make a run with it and see what she could get.
Good pass.
That's definitely going to be a penalty, probably.
Forward pass there.
Forward, but I thought it hit another McAllen player. It was forward.
Well, that's too bad for the Maidens.
You know, at this Division II level, the problem you have with McAllen is they have 4 guest players on their team who probably don't understand their normal plays or their normal patterns. So it's kind of hard because they're filling holes and they're making tackles and they can run, but they can't really make any offensive calls. So it
absolutely.
can be tough.
It's almost like street ball playing at this point.
Basically.
Yeah.
And hopefully in the second half they'll figure each other out a little bit and start moving that ball a little bit better. Start attacking downfield. They don't have the wind this half either. That's, you know, that makes a big difference sometimes. You have the wind at your back the whole time.
All right, so we have Cheryl Neely feeding the ball into the scrum. Oh, good defense. Really tried to come up there from the Maidens.
Looking to get the ball to their speedster again.
Oh, Well, if she gets on the outside, she does. Oh, but I
Great
tell you
cut
what, I
back in
commend
from
McAllen
Lays.
for coming in, trying to.
And that's going to be a hat trick for her if she does not go out the back. Shayna Malays.
You know, the thing is, I have to give it to McAllen on that one. They were really trying to stop her. They floated over with the defense, with all the ladies coming in. It caused Malays to go ahead and cut back inside, but she was able to just outrun them.
She just has some serious pace out there. She really does. And if you get her in open space, she's hard to handle. Hard to handle. Just a great run, too, from about 40 meters out.
Yeah, that was absolutely a great run. Well, that's another try for Malays. So here we go.
And another drop kick converted.
That brings us up to 36 in favor of the Reds.
That conversion good? My fault. Sorry about that. She did miss the conversion, so that would make it 34-0. Dallas Reds.
Well, we're coming to you here from the University of Dallas rugby pitch. And you know, it's interesting. It's a rather small university, but they have a long history of rugby being played here. And so it's a nice change of pace. Originally, the state tournament was going to take place at Lake Highlands Park, but I have to commend the Texas Rugby Union for having some good backup plans here. All right, so now we're waiting for the Maidens to kick off. Back to the Reds.
Yeah, Dallas has been a great host this weekend. Last night I got to go out with some of the guys from the Reds to OT Tavern, one of their sponsors, had a good time. Talk about the old days, talk about the new days, talk about things in life. It's just a great thing about rugby.
And now we're off.
That is a big kick. And
beautiful kick, but received.
That's something McAllen might have to do. Hope they drop the ball back there and put some pressure on them.
Oh, almost made the tackle right there. I tell you what.
It's going to be a knock forward advantage there for McAllen. So here they go. Maybe they can get on the front foot, get the ball out. They do have an overload out to their left. They can move the ball.
And they're trying to do that, but I tell you what, the defense from the Reds is really holding them up.
So we're going to have a knock forward there, but I believe he'll come back for the first knock.
Yeah, that's it. He's coming back for the first knock. Advantage was still being held. So here we go. Referee Joseph Monk. The referee today is Joseph Monk. So properly called right there. We're going to have a second scrum for McAllen in their area.
The McAllen scrums have been good so far today. They have not lost a lot of their own put-ins, so for that set piece, they've been doing well. It's just when they get the ball to the back line, they just don't seem to be hitting it at as much pace as the Reds are. Their timing just isn't as good, and like I said, that could be from the incoming players who haven't played together before.
That possibly also combined with the tiredness of the long trip earlier this morning. All right, so the referee, Joseph Monk, is resetting the scrum, wanting to make sure that the front rows are binding well, safely. He doesn't like what he sees. So here we go. We're going again on the reset of the scrum.
I've just seen the 8-man look over here to the winger and just kind of wink at him. I wonder if they're going to go with a little 8 pick and pop. We'll see.
Maria Roque put the ball in. She's ready to get the ball out. Oh, look at that. There it is. Come on. That's getting out to the fly half. Center.
Good.
Still holding on to the ball. You know, oh, they're calling the knock on. That was too bad. Okay, so we're coming together now. It's going to be the Reds put in the scrum. Well, you know, the hands that McAllen had coming out on the first several players was fantastic. Just too bad for the knock on.
And, you know, we're back here with the scrum to the Reds, and if you look at this short side of the field, the number 11, who already has 3 tries on the day, Malays, has a lot of space. And I would think they would try and work it back to her because there's a lot of space here. And they're bringing Haley Fennenbaum across also, who's been crucial in helping with 2 of the tries today. One of her own and one she offloaded for.
If you're in McAllen seeing all this taking place, let's see what they're going to do. Okay, we thought she was going to run across. She kicks it up, trying to salvage a fouled play.
Yeah, it's knocked forward there. You know, Reds were just trying to be a little tricky there. They went to their open side of the field, and the fly half was trying to come across back to Fenn and Bob and Malays, and it just did not work out for them.
It was a good play. It was a good play to throw the McAllen defense off and then get it back to their star studs, scorers right here for the Reds, but it didn't work. So now we're going to have our scrum, and it's going to be Maidens put in.
Yeah, and I'm watching the number 9 scrum half for the Reds. She's standing on the opposite side of the scrum, which I think she has to be at the back. She can't cheat up that side. That has to leave a gaping hole there.
You know, I tell you what, I would have said the Red scrum half actually was offside, but let's see what happens. That was missed. She came offside because she ran in front of the ball while the ball was still being kicked back within the scrum.
Correct, and she can't go to the opposite side and be at level with the ball. She has to be at the back of the scrum or on the same side as the attacking platform, I believe.
Exactly. That's too bad that was missed for McAllen. But here we go. We have something knocked forward by the Reds. So let's see how this is played. We're going to have another scrum McAllen put in.
That was the best offensive movement so far, McAllen. They moved the ball at least 20 meters down the field in the attacking platform with their fly half.
Holding on to the ball, that's a good thing. Well, maybe they're going to be getting it together here and see if they can get a try. And the ladies of McAllen getting back, getting deep.
Once again, the scrum half for the Reds is on the opposite side. And she can't go past the ball, and she can't go past the flanker. She has got to be offsides. I mean, I guess the referee is just not catching it. There you go.
There it is.
AR got it. So she's definitely offside. She cannot be in front of the ball, and she definitely can't go past the channel. You used to be able to go as far back as the ball, but now you cannot go past the flanker.
That's right. And so the AR Aussie was able to get that. Notified Joseph Monk. And here we go with the penalty. And tap and go.
Yep, she dropped the ball, but the referee said it went back, so on they go. And I do believe this might be the deepest they've made it all day for McAllen. They're about 25 meters. That's going to be a penalty, I do believe, there for hands in the ruck.
Yep. All right, so at least 2 fortunate penalties for McAllen. They're going to tap and go.
Yeah, they're going to get a 10-meter charge on this and hopefully get it deeper into the Reds zone.
Oh, look at that.
Good open field tackle there.
Scrum half tapping and going, moving it up. And they move up another meter.
Hands in the ruck again. You know, if they do that one more time, you think they might end up going to a card if they get 3 of the same call in a row.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's see what the scrum half is going to do here. Here she is. She passes off. They're going to try to run it straight up in there.
Oh, that's a
she
great
has some
run
girls
right there.
behind her. Support play. Oh, this is the closest they've gotten to the end goal so far today.
Yeah, they're knocking on the door. They're about 4 meters out right now. They should just pick and jam and keep it close.
They're holding on to the ball.
The ball is in her hand. If she could get it out to the winger. They still have support. They're down in the far corner. It's got advantage. It's advantage McAllen right there. Hands in the ruck. So there's an advantage again for the same call for the 3rd time. Oh, wait, he just called a knock-on only. I thought he put his arm out for an advantage. So knock-on, very unfortunate for McAllen. It'll be a red scrum.
Well, we're coming back, but you know I have to commend McAllen right now. That's the furthest they've gotten, and so hopefully that'll give them a mental charge, let them know that they can move the ball. If they hold on to the ball, slowly progress it phase after phase, then they can actually get it down and score. So here we go with the scrum.
And
Reds
it's a
put in-
McAllen scrum, actually. My fault there. It is a McAllen scrum, knocked forward by the Reds.
Oh, hey, there you go.
So they're still in the attacking platform. Their 10 likes to run.
And the Reds got the ball. And it was kicked to touch.
I believe that's halftime right now, sir. With the score 34-0, Dallas Reds.
But you know, the good thing is that McAllen was able here at the very end of this first half to get the ball down and almost score their first try.
Yeah, they're finally getting on the front foot, so I think they need to stick to that pattern of keeping it tight and just have crash runners up the middle. Don't try and go wide on the Reds, because if you miss a pass and the ball gets on the deck, they'll make you pay, because they do have some pace out there to the outside.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, Drew, we're going into the half, and we will be back here in just a few minutes. All right, everybody, we're back live here at the University of Dallas, coming to you with the Texas Rugby Union Network on YouTube. And coming to visit the table right now is the legend, AR, and of course, top referee, Ozzy. So we like to welcome Ozzy here. He's getting back out on the field doing his job. All right. Well, Drew, what do you think so far? You think the Maidens now have a good game plan to help them move forward?
I think if they could just keep the ball tight and keep running their close crash runners, they do have some size out there in their pack. They do have some size in the back line. If they could run some crash runners and keep the ball in hand and slow down the pace of the Reds, it could definitely help. And plus, they have the win this half. So sometimes the win makes a big difference in games. Yesterday, the Dallas Reds versus Hark 2. The Dallas Reds are up 24-0 at halftime. You flip fields, second half, it's a 24-24 game that goes to overtime. Sometimes that win can make a large difference in games.
Well, I tell you what, right from the kickoff from Marshana Snyman, we see a knock on here, and of course this is beneficial. Look at this. Once again, in their zone, McAllen is going to have a scrum.
Yeah, attacking platform, and their scrums have looked good. Their scrums have looked really good so far today. They've won just about every ball they've put in. The Reds 9 this time looks like she's going to traditionally play the correct defense, not be on the opposite side of the field.
But at least she's ensured of being onside. Okay, so the ball's put in by the scrum half there. Oh, look at that. It's won by the Reds.
Oh, good jump over by the number 9, Cheryl Neely. Pretty niftily jumped over a defender. There's a player down for McAllen, but I believe she'll be okay. McAllen's down essentially 2 players because they have another player helping a player on the field. They go to the short side with a crashing runner. I looked at Dallas to try and move the ball wide. They had their speed out here wide. But the referee blows his whistle. Penalty.
Okay, it looked like it was an offsides. Hard to tell that secondary signal.
And Dallas looks like they'll kick for the line out and set their offensive platform off it. It may stay in play.
Ah, beneficial. She's on the run now. Look at that. Speedster. Oh, unfortunate for McAllen. Picked up very quickly by number 12.
Haley Fennenbaum again, dead through the center. We saw this in the first half. When she gets the ball in her hand, she is lightning in a bottle.
Oh, my goodness. Look at that. I mean, she saw an opportunity, picked it up, ran with it, and scored right between the posts.
That's her second score on the day. She's got a pass for a score. She's just been everywhere today. Haley Fennenbaum.
Look at that. Now that's 7 to start off the second half. So we're coming in right now. It's in favor of the Dallas Reds, 41-0.
And McAllen started the half off just right. They get down in the Reds' territory. They run a couple phases, but one small knock on and a penalty here, and the Reds were off and running quickly.
And that's the thing. Against the Reds, McAllen cannot make really any mistakes. The Reds are ready to recover quickly and just take full advantage of it, as we just saw once again.
Yeah, they have 2 or 3 speedsters on their team that McAllen just has not had an answer for yet. Fennenbaum being one.
And here's Marshana Snyman making the kick.
That's a nice kick there to open space again. They let it hit the ground, which is not a good
beauty.
thing.
Yeah, McAllen has to stop her now. I tell you what, she was on full force right there.
If they could get the ball out to this wing here, that's got to be an offsides penalty right there.
Man, almost a stolen, but it is going to be a penalty. Coming in from the side is the call by referee Joseph Monk.
Sheena Malays was outside without anybody within 20 meters of her. If they could have got the ball out,
she had it. Oh, look at this.
Nice
She's
little
going to
chip
grub
through.
her through.
Good defense there from McAllen. She's got a little bit of support. That possibly might be a forward pass.
Well, you know what? Unfortunately, 16 there for McAllen. We don't have a name associated with her. She was running so strongly to give support. She got in front, couldn't get the pass, and she stayed in front and unfortunately had a forward pass. She was just too excited. Can't blame her.
All right, so 16 is Kinsey from the dark team. I do recognize her right there. She's the 8-man for dark. Kinsey McKinley on the field. I guess somebody made a call and said, hey, we could use another player in the second half, and she made her way out here, and that's just great to help out a fellow team in need.
Isn't that something, though? I mean, that's something that you see in rugby so often, where you need somebody, you're on one team, hey, I get a chance to get in and play. Well, welcome, Kinsey McKinley. You're now playing for McAllen, helping them in their playoff bid.
The only reason why I was able to recognize her is because of the shorts. I knew it was a dark player at first, and I recognized she was the 8-mans that we seen play yesterday.
Okay, so here we go. Cheryl McNeely waiting, put the ball into the scrum. She's smiling as if she knows something. Joseph Monk calling them in.
Good push from the Blacks.
8 pick, thrown out. 10 chips it over.
And she found some space back there. That ball's still rolling.
Boy, that was good. Good movement downfield.
Yeah, they've gained a good 20-meter advantage. And if they could just put some pressure on McAllen, they'll get the ball back.
That tackle.
This could be the Reds' ball. The ball's loose. Looks like a knock-on advantage for the Reds. And they'll be scrummed down McAllen. So the Reds took an advantage. They had a nice steal on the ruck, but then they knocked it on as they were going in for the score. Well, here's one of the bright sides for the McAllen today has been their set piece for the scrums. They have been winning all their balls, so hopefully they could clear the ball down the field and relieve some of the pressure that the Reds are putting on them at this point in time. Once again, second half, Dallas Reds 41, McAllen 0.
All right, so here we go. Referee Joseph Monk having a few words. Again, just for safety, making sure that the binds are good, safe. And here's Cheryl Neely standing by, right behind Maria Roque, who's putting the ball in. Neely was coming out quickly. Good kick downfield, but picked up by the wing.
Great take by the winger for Dallas. Number 14, Madeline Morris.
And she's brought to touch. So we're going to have a throw-in at the line-out for McAllen.
You know, I think the referee's going to have to take a stoppage here for a little bit. It looks like there was a collapse of the scrum at the end there. And it's very unfortunate when those things get folded up sometimes. You could hurt a neck or a shoulder pretty easily.
Absolutely. So I believe we're going to have time off at this point. We have the trainer coming out.
Thank you, sir. This next match. Next match, if you want.
All right, so coming up the next match right after this here on the Texas Rugby Union YouTube network is going to be the D2 playoff match between, or actually championship between, Hark, Houston Athletic Rugby Club, and the Austin Blacks.
And we were speaking about this earlier. The Austin Blacks have a chance to make history in USA Rugby. They could be the first team ever to put a Division I, Division II, and a Division III team in the final 8 in the country. That just says a lot for your program right now in depth.
It absolutely does. And right now we already have the Blacks have won the Division III state championship earlier against Hurt Division I.
The Division I Yes, this morning, Division 3 this morning against Hurt, and they won the Division 1 last night against the Dallas Reds.
Ah, there you go. So there's 2. So this is the 3rd one coming up today. All right, so we're waiting to see again for safety. Checking out and see how our down player is doing. Once again, folks, we're coming to you here from the University of Dallas rugby pitch. And the weather, for the most part, is beautiful. Unfortunately, we have a down player for McAllen. We hope she's okay.
I can remember Larry playing here in college and seeing the big Cowboy Stadium off to your left, off to your right over here would just be in the skyline right there, and it was a great thing to see. You'd be here playing, and you could think, man, right over there are some of the best professional players in the world, just 100 feet away from the field here in Dallas.
Well, that had to have given you a little inspiration there.
It really did, because it was quite a thing to see, and then every once in a while you just go take pictures right there in front of the Cowboy Stadium, because at the point in time it was when they were winning all those championships in the early 90s, back when I was still playing in college.
Now you're talking about college. Where'd you play college ball? Where'd you play college rugby?
I played at Louisiana Tech, and back then we played in the Deep South for 2 years, but then we moved to Texas Rugby Union because rugby in Texas was always better than in southern Louisiana at that point in time.
And right now your club, Shreveport, is playing in the TRU as well.
We're a Division 3 club in Texas. Rebuilding year for us. Hopefully next year we'll have a lot of guys back, but rugby's cyclical. You have high numbers, you have low numbers, and hopefully we'll start getting our numbers back up and having some fun. But yeah, it's our 42nd year. We're the oldest sports program in Shreveport, so that's a good thing.
Congratulations on that. And it looks like 21, she's back in. And we're going to have our line out.
Maybe just a stinger, or maybe she just doesn't want to let her teammates down and play through it.
Or both. I tell you what, commend her anyway for getting back to it. Well, they really don't have anyone else. They don't have any reserves to come in.
No, they're out of reserves. Like I said, when I seen Miss McKenzie from Dark on the field, she wasn't here earlier today, so obviously somebody made a call and said, hey, any rugby players want to come out and help us play? Bring your boots.
Hey, here we go. Looks like the Reds are on a good. They're right in, and there she is.
I believe that was the number 8, possibly. We'll get a definite.
Either way, that was a good try, good run.
So that score there will take it to 39-0 in favor of the Dallas Reds at this point in time. I'm sorry, 46. I missed a try earlier. It's a great take off the line out for the Dallas Reds. Opened it up for him, and she just made a great run right through.
Well, I tell you what, she really did. And it's nice to see a forward have an opportunity for the Reds to get in there and score.
Yeah, from a good 15 meters out, too. When you're a forward and you get that ball in your hand, you see it open up. There's no greater sight.
I've got no assignments this weekend. None. Like, not even, hey, come help me out.
Who scored? Jenna Buford. Yep, number 8, Jenna Buford for the score. That's why I thought I saw an 8 on her jersey, but I was not positive. And I believe that is her second on the day also. She had one in the first half, so here we come back with the McAllen Maidens getting ready to kick off again. And the score is 46-0 at this point in time.
And the score is 46-0. That's correct. The conversion was missed. All right, well, looks like the Maidens are back to kicking off.
That's a big kick that time taken by the Reds.
Oh, look at that. Made open field.
It's the weak side winger, Madeline Morris, takes the ball. And the Reds are driving at this point in time.
Man, they're really on with a good push right there.
Sets the ball back, and if they could get the ball wide, once again, their speedster's out there, but it looks like they're going to do a pick and jam.
Yep. Well, Drew, knock on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Advantage, McAllen. There we go. She got a little run going on. Can't
Well, I
get
tell
the
you
ball
what,
on the front foot.
that was something to see how the Reds were driving. I mean, they drove McAllen back, at least on that maul, for what, 10 meters maybe?
Yeah, no doubt. And it was probably one of the smallest players in the field, just driving her legs and moving them back.
Here we go. We have a knock on by McAllen. So we're going to have a scrum. Reds put in. And once again, Cheryl Neely will be putting the ball in to Lori Mayfield, the hooker for the Reds.
I wonder if the Reds will go to their back line or if they'll allow their 8-man to pick again. We'll see. There's a whistle right now.
Well, the good thing is the Reds have that option.
I believe they're taking a water break is what they're doing. It has gotten a lot warmer. So they're going to take a 1-minute water break with 15 minutes left to play. The score is the Dallas Reds 46, McAllen Maidens 0 at this point.
Well, you know, even the score seems a little lopsided. Yeah, you still have to give it to the Maidens for coming up here. They only brought 12 ladies up. They had to pull some players from other teams. They don't have any reserves.
Yeah,
Drove up today.
I'd like to see him put something together there and get a little drive on and get a score in and give something the fans a little bit to cheer for. They're not playing bad at all. They just haven't been able to have continuity continuously. They get the ball once or twice, 2 phases, and they knock it on or have a penalty, and they just can't seem to get that go forward consistently so far this half.
And they had that great drive so close to the try line that, boy, if they could just get it in, that'll be great for them. Well, all right, everybody. Once again, we're here at the Texas Rugby Union YouTube Rugby channel, University of Dallas. Drew, you were telling me earlier how inspirational it was to be here. The whistle's just been blown. And so we're about to start play. We're back on official time. We have just a little over 12 minutes left to play.
And it's a scrum down. I think the Reds are getting the scrum down here. Yep. So be looking for Lori Mayfield to put the ball in and possibly go to their back line and use that speed against McAllen. They definitely do have some speed out wide. They have 2 girls that can put the pedal to the metal.
I tell you, and those 2 ladies, they have been putting that pedal to the metal. They're running speedsters, road runners right now. They've been scoring try after try.
Yeah, they both have, one has a hat trick and one has the winger. Haley Fenenbaum has 2 on the day, and of course the winger Sheena Malays has 3. So between them both, you get them with the ball in space.
Look at that 8-man.
Great counter ruck though from McAllen, but they do get the ball back. And McAllen is essentially playing 3 people down at this point. They still have 2 prop forwards on the field. They're going to run the ball.
Yeah, she's got it.
McAllen.
McAllen's doing the ball. Ball's in the ruck. Okay, Maidens get the ball out. Just unfortunate once again for McAllen. Gosh, just like you were speaking about earlier, Drew, if they could just hold on to the ball. They get 1 or 2 phases, just like you said, and that is hurting them.
Yeah, and Larry, once again, the Reds have a scrum down, and they could attack either way. Their 8-man went to the short side of the field last time, created a little bit of space. They have tons of room out here to the right. If they could get the ball in Malaysia's hands, I don't think anybody from McAllen could even keep up with her.
And look at this, Malays is walking further and further back. She's trying to set herself up for being open and ready to go. Even though they're on the defensive stance, she believes they can win. All right, once again, referee Joseph Monk just making sure that they're going to come together safely. Good binding, come together even. Calling them in. Magdalena Rodriguez.
Ball is one
Put the
back
ball
by
in.
the Reds.
Yeah, look at that. The Reds win.
Oh, knock forward there from the winger.
And there's the whistle. Well, we're going to see the scrum again.
Yeah, and I think McAllen has a prop forward with a shoulder injury. The last two scrums, every time they've come out of the scrum, it seems like the person's been holding their shoulder. So I think they're going to have a little stoppage right now to look at a possible shoulder issue, because after that scrum, she hadn't gotten back up off the deck just yet.
Really a tough situation right now for McAllen, with no reserves, actually having to pull in 4 players from elsewhere, taking the long drive to get down here.
Trooper, though, she's going to get back up and have at it again.
Fantastic. Well, here we go. We're going on with another scrum. It's going to be McAllen's put-in. Reds won that last scrum. Magdalena Rodriguez will be trying to hook the ball back. We're going to have Maria Roque putting the ball in.
If the Reds win this ball again, I would like to see them go to their back line one time. They have so much space and so much depth. If they could just get them the ball, I don't think McAllen could stop them if they go to the corner. I just don't think they could keep up with the pace.
Well, all right. Here is Joseph Monk getting ready to call the ladies in. Maria Roque is ready to put the ball in, waiting for the call by the referee. Look at this little switch. We have 13 now out. 11 got moved in for the Reds.
It was a good initial hook. Reds get the ball. They're number 9.
Ball came out of the scrum, but the referee's letting it play on.
Yeah, it was hooked by a player, and then it came out the side. So once it's touched the foot, it is live ball.
There it is. And Neely took good advantage of that. All right. Penalty Reds. Boy, if this is not going to be dangerous for McAllen.
Looks like they're getting ready to tap and take it at pace. And they give it to their number 12 again, Haley Fennenbaum, but the referee...
Hold on, we see a whistle.
Not back 10 is the call, so they get a penalty again.
As the Reds are closing in on the goal line. Off to number 10. She's going to chip it.
And here goes Malays to the corner.
No try.
He's going to confer with Ozzy at this point in time.
Check the replay. CMO.
And the try is called. So that's her number 4th on the afternoon, Sheena Malay.
That moves the score up to 51-0 in favor of the Reds.
I guess if you can't get to the ball by passing it, just chip it out there and let her run onto it.
You know, it makes me wonder if maybe they wanted to give Malays just a few more tries there, you know, help her build up her try number. All right, so we have number 24 here. She's making the conversion attempt on a drop kick. It's missed. Just a bit outside to the right. Well, Drew, 51-0 in favor of the Reds.
Yeah, sometimes being the home team does have advantages. You know, when you get to sleep in your own bed at night, wake up on your own terms, you're fully rested, you have a bunch of being able to hydrate all night. That makes a big difference. You got to leave at 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning and make a trip 6 hours away. It's tough sometimes. But still, they keep on fighting. If they keep the ball down in their half, they might be able to make a difference.
You know what? I just heard a correction. It's a 10-hour drive from McAllen. So they left this morning before getting here. Can you imagine doing that 10-hour drive?
Yeah, That's brutal.
That's very brutal. What a kick, though. Wow.
And this might work out. You know, if the Reds make a forward pass or a knock on, they could pin them down in their half. Great dummy move. And she's still going. Stiff arms.
Oh, stiff arms, but brought the arm
Good
down.
offload to number 7,
Sure
Destiny
was.
Jamison, and she's got pace too.
Jamison does not want to go down.
If they could spin that ball, there is no defenders out here.
Good setup on the ruck.
Send the ball. Here comes number 25.
Oh, look at this. She's going on the outside. Almost had her.
Let's go!
It's another try for number 25 from the Dallas Reds.
That is Autumn, number 25, who scored for the Reds. Autumn Ragsdale, congratulations. She scored the next try.
And once again, once they get the ball out wide, the McAllen Maidens just don't really have an answer for the speed of the Dallas rugby team.
And unfortunately, the drop kick conversion attempt was missed. So right now the score is in favor of the Dallas Reds, 56-0 over McAllen.
They might. Just tell me you're accommodating the game. Do you have a roster? You've got to be in the waning moments of this match, I would think.
Well, it's a 30-minute half, and right now we're at the 28th minute. 28:30 is what we're at right now. So it's just narrowing down here. McAllen taking another kick. We have our center referee, Joseph Monk, and our AR, Ozzy.
Well, she
Ready
just
to
keeps
watch?
dropping that ball in the perfect spot, and that might not make the try zone. She might have to run that out.
She does.
Wow, what a kick.
I have to commend that lady.
Yeah,
she
she's
can
been-
kick unbelievably well.
She's been putting in the best spot all day. She's just not getting any serious support from her team.
The Reds got the ball at the ruck. See what I have to tell you, McAllen is really trying to put on defense there for him. McAllen's trying to stop the Reds. See their defense being set up by McAllen.
Yeah, and that's Jenna Buford, the 8-man, again, making a great run.
But she's brought down by McAllen. McAllen's not ready to give up. The game's not over for him yet.
Good crash run there from number 6, Kira Gallardo.
Ball still in the ruck, setting things up. There we go.
Cheryl Neely passes it out, and there's a chip kick over. McAllen better get on this ball. There's going to be trouble.
Uh-oh.
Ball is retained by Shayna Malays again, and I don't think anybody's going to catch her. And she offloads at the last second to number 14, Alexandria Miller, for the try.
Well, you know, Malays wanted to share the love of scoring tries.
She's been all over the field today, Larry. She's just been an offensive juggernaut so far in this match.
Well, that's 61 now for the Reds.
And I think we'll see another one of these oh-so-famous drop goals. She says no tee is needed. I'll just get the ball and put it through the posts.
And the ball goes up
Just a little short.
just a little.
Just a
Just a little. Also, I think just a little outside, but I don't think she's really too concerned about scoring the conversion with 61 points to the Reds' name.
No, I don't even think she takes a second to even look at it. She just goes up there and swings that leg. And she, in the first half, she hit 3 out of 4, though. So
She did, yeah, absolutely.
The first half. The second half, though, they've been scoring on the outside a little bit more.
Well, you know, I have to commend right now the Maidens. I'm looking at the ladies, and I tell you what, they're keeping their heads up. I think they know the obstacle that they were going up against, and it looks more as if they're just happy to be playing. So I got to commend them for that. I know they'd like to get a try, though. I'd like to see them get just one try before the end of the game.
Man, I wish they would take one of their fastest players and put it behind their kicker, because their kicker has been putting the ball on the ground and bouncing every time in perfect spots, and they just have nobody chasing. Of course, I think I just jinxed her.
That's too bad. That's too bad. Yeah, well, I tell you what, over 90% of the time her kicks have been just perfect.
I think they said they want to take the kick again instead of scrum center.
Hey, all right. Well, that's good. This is her second chance. I'm looking for a great kick from her.
Yeah, she's putting the ball in open space all day long.
Ah, there it is.
Good take by number 15, Madeline Morris. And she makes a good step outside.
Morris is ready to get the ball out. Oh, look at that. Set up for the maul, but just pass it on.
Ball backwards, no knock, play on. Cheryl Neely moves the ball.
Oh, they're going to move it to the outside. That's dangerous. Dangerous for McAllen.
Great stiff arm there from Callie Davis. And here comes the danger. Haley Fenenbaum again. She gets that ball in her hand. She could do anything she wants. She's still going, I believe.
Okay. The whistle blew. We're going to take a look at this. We got a penalty.
Maybe not releasing is the call, I would possibly assume, because she got tackled and then she was up and running again.
All right, so here we go. What do you think they're going to do here? It looks like they're ready to just tap, pass, try to crash on through. All right, here she goes. She's bulldozing. Passes it out. I would have liked to have seen her just hold on to the ball and try to retain it. Just crash and bang, crash and bang would have been nice.
McAllen. They do retain possession. Wow, crunching tackle there for Dallas Reds.
There she goes. She's going to hold on to the ball.
Good dummy back inside for the number 10 from Dallas, Hernandez.
Oh, she lost it. It's now back to the Reds. Upon releasing the ball, there was not the support there for McAllen, and so the Reds were just able to jackal the ball out.
Knocked forward there by the Reds. Very unfortunate in the tackle. It'll be a scrum down, McAllen Maidens.
Yes, and you know, Drew, you've noticed earlier that McAllen has been doing fairly well in the scrum. So maybe from the set piece, they could take some advantage from it. If you were captain for McAllen, what would you tell them?
Bring in my fastest player.
Just let my 9 pass it to me and just let her do as well as she can and get as many meters as she can. They're winning their scrums. They're getting the ball out. The problem they have is the interchange passes between players just isn't there today. They're just not linking up because they don't play together. So it's kind of hard. So maybe you move the quickest player you have. Just try to get the ball in your fast player's hand and let them run. Give them some space and let them run.
All right, so we have the referee, Joseph Monk. He doesn't like something he sees there in the scrum. He's going to reset it.
Another possibility here is that the number 10, Christina Pereira, if she could chip kick over the Dallas Reds defense over here, there's literally nobody back here. It's wide open. I don't see the weak side winger anywhere. Oh, she's flat in the line, that's why. Yeah, and the fullback is on the opposite side of the field, so if she can get the ball over, there's literally nobody.
Fullback is moving up. There she is. What's she going to do? She's on the run. She just needs, she knocked the ball on. Advantage, Reds.
Here comes the danger person, Haley Fenenbaum again. Oh, ball stolen back.
Yeah, sure was. It was charged down by McAllen. McAllen's still holding the ball.
Once again, if McAllen could have put a foot on the ball, there is no fullback or winger back at all. It is wide open if they could just get the ball, but the Reds seemed like they took possession back.
She's back on her feet, releases the ball, gets the ball back. Well played.
It's a good maul from Destiny Jameson and the rest of the pack forward. Just keep driving the ball.
Man, they are driving. The Reds are driving right now, but McAllen is coming in. The only thing, though, is that look at that overload that the Reds have to the right. They have 4 ladies to the right.
ball out, it could be trouble.
They're going to go left.
And there is a definite overload out there.
She's bulldozing it through.
Willie called a knock on. Forward pass is the call.
Forward pass.
And that will be the game.
Well, I tell you what, that was almost another try for the Reds. And the Reds win this one 61-0. But you know, considering the 10-hour drive from this morning coming up here, showing up with 12, and actually going up against a really well-organized, well-coached Reds team.
Yeah, hats off to both teams. I mean, McAllen played very well defensively. They just had no answer for the speed of the Dallas Reds today. That's all it was. Haley Fennenbaum and Shannon Malays, they were hard to handle for McAllen. But they played till the final whistle and played about as good as you can play for Championship Sunday.
Absolutely. Well, I have to thank you, Drew, for coming out and joining us today. I'm Larry Monks, everybody here on the YouTube channel for the Texas Rugby Union. And thank you for watching today's championship match between the McAllen Maidens and the Dallas Reds.